Welcome to Redvee TV, supported by A-Star Recruitment for the 2022 season. And with 15 days to go, we do the granddad of the club, our number 15.
It's Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook.
Sponsored by Health Watch St Helens for the 2022 season. His name is that long, I wasn't going to repeat it. Do you reckon he gets offended when he just gets referred to as LMS all the time?
No, it wouldn't. No, I don't think he cares. I genuinely don't think he cares what anybody thinks about him. I genuinely don't.
Can you believe this man is 36?
No, quite frankly. That's it, because he still plays as if he's maybe not 10 years younger. Yeah. But I love the fact that he's still got the same enthusiasm that he probably did have when he first started his career.
He's another one of our players who, for some reason, is maligned, but he consistently gets picked by every single coach we've had at the club who see what he does for the team. He is in that team for Challenge Cup finals, Grand finals, and he's an absolute machine. He just keeps going. He's not the machine because that's James Roby, but he is a machine.
Yeah, I think he brings something kind of different to our forward line as well. You think about our props, you think Alex Walmsley, absolutely huge, punches holes in defences. You've got Matty Lees, absolute workhorse, doesn't take a backward step. You think Iggy Parsi, got an offload in him. Also, as we spoke about a couple of days ago, when he gets going, he is a little bit of a wrecking ball. And then you've got Louis, who's got pace. And Louis, I know people see him as a cheerleader as well, but there's got to be something about him in that group for him to keep getting contracts. You don't get given them. We're saying this time and time again. You don't just get given a contract if you don't deserve one. No one in a salary cap sport, and you can't just go out and sign whoever you want. But when you're managing a salary cap and you're playing squad, you need the right type of character there. You need the right type of player there. And Louis McCarthy has been that right type of player for the past 10 years or so.
Regardless of his playing ability, which fully justifies his place in that squad, if you were going for a job and you've got all the qualifications on paper and you've got the CV, and they come to you and say, what's your added value? Because that's the things that separate you from the pack. The pack, but yeah. With Louis, it is the ability to wind people up and get in the faces of the opposition and wind the crowd up from the opposition, which gets them going, gets our team going, and there is value to that. He's somebody you can't help but love to have in your team, and you'd absolutely hate him if he played for the opposition.
If Louis had come up here and signed for Wigan, I guarantee we'd have called him rotten every single time we played them. Every single time. Nailed on. And as you say, that's what I love about him. I think as he's got older as well, he has turned into a leader. And you can see him G'ing players up on the field as well. You can see that enthusiasm, that infectious enthusiasm that he has for the game. Still, like last year at 35, still wanting to win, still having that appetite to get into the big games and get stuck into the big games. And when all's said and done, going to work and having fun, having a laugh with his mates, doing the serious bits, coming home with the silverware, but you know full well he enjoys what he does.
And he's consistent, and he consistently stays fit. I was on mute then.
Yeah, exactly. Like you, consistently putting yourself on mute and forgetting to take yourself off. Yeah, that's it. Listen, and being a forward, being someone who has played prop, who's played second row, and has played at 13, I know it's as a third prop, really, but keeping himself fit and keeping himself kind of in the shape that he has without losing too much of his pace, without losing too much of his go forward, it's a testament to him. And again, we were talking yesterday, Curtis Siren, there's a big slice of luck there that he hasn't had too many injuries which have caused him to miss chunks of the season, and hopefully he can continue that for this contract at least.
Yeah, obviously in his first 8 or 9 years at the club, he was making 31, 30, 29, 32, 33 appearances a year. The last 2 years, 2020, he made 20 appearances. 2021, he made 22. Probably, it looks like he made slightly less, but obviously there was probably less games due to COVID. But potentially for me, given this season could be 30 plus games, I'd be looking for Louis to be playing 17, 18 games, be able to rotate. And again, is that where the bigger squad comes in as well? Because he'll still get his games, but we can manage his game time as well and allow youngsters to get their chance. And obviously, because we build for probably the next 2, 3, 4 years, when obviously you'd assume Louis will be retired.
Yeah, definitely. You've got, we've potentially got a bit of a rebuilding phase to go through with regards to the pack. When you think of like Louis getting a year deal, James Roby getting a year deal, Kyler Moore getting a year deal, Dan Norman's at the end of his contract at the end of this coming season, I think as well. I think he only signed a 2-year deal, so he'll be playing for a new one. It may well be that you manage his minutes. I mean, you probably do that with your older players anyway. Sorry for calling him that. He's still 5 years younger than me. But
yeah,
you probably do manage.
What are you?
He's one of my great granddads.
He's younger than me.
Is he?
Mm.
That's brilliant. But yeah, you'd probably do manage the minutes, and you probably do kind of tone it down quite a bit. And he plays 20 games again, and we leave him out of the ones that we can afford to, where you do kind of swap him around with Kyler Moore, give Dan Norman a little bit of more experience of coming off the bench. It is like, if we're going to play him second row or we're going to have him on the bench as kind of that swing player, that's when you do give your chances to your Sam Royals and Matty Fosters and people like that they get a game, whether it be, and listen, like a Toulouse at home, a Salford at home, a team that you traditionally think we should win this game, even if we put a couple of kids on the bench. I know that's not how rugby league works, but where you traditionally think we should be strong enough here, you probably do start giving the kids a go.
You talk about we might have a rebuild, and obviously with the amount of older players who are going to be leaving the club in the next couple of years. But I look at it as this season is a bridging season where we'll still be the favourites to lift the trophies and hopefully lift the trophies. But because the squad is bulked out that much, we can get players experience like you've just been talking about without them having to come in potentially in the next year or two without that game time and experience. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more seamless.
Possibly, but how many props are kind of coming through? Lewis Baxter. So you think Dan Norman would have to step up, and as I say, he's playing for a contract this season. So if we let 3 go, you're going to bring somebody in. And you may have to bring 2 in, whether it's a championship prop again, or whether it's someone from a little bit kind of lower down, I want to say the pay scale, to be your 4th choice prop. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see, because would it surprise me if Louis went round again? Not really.
Do you know what? When you look at the organisation off the club, in terms of contracts, player management, squad management, personnel, I could think of a certain football club who could do it. Somebody else who could do that. Don't get any ideas.
Is it Burnley or Everton? It's one of the 2.
No, it's definitely Everton. Right, I think that's Louis done and dusted for the year, and we managed to get through this episode without swearing. Louis, sponsored by Health Watch St Helens for the 2022 season. Back tomorrow, Kev, again.
Yeah. Yep.
And people are still watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Catch you tomorrow.